In this video, we will discuss about the outline of the eukaryotic cells. Based on the presence or absence of the well-defined nuclear membrane, organisms are broadly classified into prokaryotic organisms and eukaryotic organisms. Here, the prokaryotic organisms means these are the unicellular organisms that lack nucleus and any other membrane-bound organelles. And when you examine the prokaryotic cell, they do not possess the nucleus as well as the membrane bound other cell organelles. And coming to the eukaryotic organisms, these eukaryotic cells are the eukaryotic cells that has a membrane bound nucleus and several other membrane bound compartments or sacs. So when you examine this for eukaryotic cells, in the case of eukaryotic cells, we will see the well-defined nucleus. Along with this well-defined nucleus, still we can see the membrane-bound organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and the Golgi complex. All these membrane-bound organelles, including the mitochondria, these kind of membrane-bound organelles as well as well-defined nucleus is present in the case of eukaryotic cells. Usually the prokaryotic organisms, the best examples are the organisms which are placed into monera. So in the case of this monera, all these are the prokaryotic cells. And coming to the eukaryotic cells, the various phyla from the protista, fungi, plants and animals, usually these are the eukaryotic organisms. So coming to the protista, in the case of this protista, all unicellular eukaryotic organisms like paramecium, euglena, and amoeba, these are placed. Here we can see the nucleus in all these organisms. These are the unicellular eukaryotic organisms. And coming to the fungi, then these fungi are the eukaryotic non-vascular, non-motile, and heterotrophic organisms. They may be unicellular and filamentous in nature. So in this case of fungi, this fungal hyphae, in this fungal hyphae we can see the presence of the nucleus. So that may be separate, single nucleus is present here, but that may be the xenocytic. But we can see the presence of the nucleus in the fungal hyphae. And coming to the plants. So usually these plants are the eukaryotic multicellular photosynthesizers. In the case of these plants also, we will observe the presence of the nucleus. In the case of plants also, we see the presence of the nucleus here and membrane-bound organelles, and even the unique features like a chloroplast also present. A true well-defined nucleus and chloroplast also present. Other membrane-bound organelles like Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, we can see all these kind of the cell organelles present in the case of plant cells. And coming to the animal cell. So these animals are eukaryotic, heterotrophic, multicellular living organisms, and they are characterized by the voluntary movements. So usually the main important thing is that they are heterotrophic, and you will see the voluntary movements in the case of these animals. In the case of these animals also, it means they contains the eukaryotic cells. In the case of animal cells, we will find the true nucleus. Along with the nucleus, we will find these membrane-bound organelles like mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, rough endoplasmic reticulum, and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The main components of the eukaryotic cells are the cytoplasm and the nucleus. So cytoplasm is the entire region that present between the plasma membrane and the nuclear envelope, that consisting of organelles suspended in the gel-like cytosol and the cytoskeleton and other various chemicals. So the region that fluid that is present in between the plasma membrane and the nucleus is called as the cytoplasm. In this cytoplasm, and the cytoplasm is with compartmentalization. Here in the case of this eukaryotic cells, we will observe the compartmentalization. Literal meaning of this compartmentalization is the division of something into sections. That means division of, here maybe we can apply this division of the cytoplasm here. Division of something into sections. Then what is the significance of this compartmentalization in the case of eukaryotic cells? Coming to the compartmentalization in the case of cytoplasm, this compartmentalization, this is the way cell organelles in the eukaryotic cells exist and work in separate parts inside the cell to complete their specific functions more efficiently. That means in the case of this eukaryotic cells, all these cell organelles, they are being involved in the various activities. To complete their specific functions, they need to have the specific conditions. So this compartmentalization that supports that provides the required or favorable conditions for the happening of all these metabolic activities. In this way, this compartmentalization is useful for the fulfilling all the cellular activities inside the cell. This compartmentalization is possible due to the membrane-bound organelles. Here we can see the membrane-bound organelles. So different compartmentalization in the cytoplasm. Inside the cytoplasm, we can see to fulfill the specific metabolic activities. Yeah, Golgi complex and rough endoplasmic reticulum. The lumen you can find here, and the lysosomes, mitochondria. So they have their own boundaries and they maintain the particular metabolic conditions to fulfill metabolic activities. Next, another important component present in the case of eukaryotic cell is the presence of the nucleus. So this nucleus is the cell organelle that houses the cell's DNA and directs ribosomes as well as a protein synthesis. So this nucleus that contains the DNA, that is the genetic material, and directs the synthesis of ribosomes as well as the proteins. The main features in the case of this nucleus are the presence of the nuclear membrane, and inside this nucleus genetic material is present. That genetic material is nothing but the chromosomes. Then coming to the nuclear membrane is the double membrane structure that forms the nucleus outermost portion. So that is delimiting the nucleus from cytoplasm. That means that separating the nucleus from cytoplasm. And coming to the genetic material which is present inside the nucleus, that is chromosome. These chromosomes are the structures within the nucleus that comprise DNA and which is responsible for the hereditary material. And which is the hereditary material? That means the transfer of characters from generation to next generation. You can observe the nucleus here, the typical eukaryotic nucleus here. Inside this nucleus here, this is the nuclear membrane. The nucleus is enclosed with the nuclear membrane, and inside the nucleus it contains genetic materials, that is hereditary material, that is chromosomes you can find inside the nucleus. This is about the eukaryotic cells.